Hello everyone, my name is Catman, and right now I want to talk to you all about the Overwatch ARG. So, I've been working on this since day one. Before I start talking about anything though, if you aren't caught up with the ARG, I strongly recommend that you go to the Sombra Game Detectives Wiki. I'll go ahead and link that in the description. It'll brief you over every step that we've taken, our progress so far. It's very short, so go ahead and read through that before watching this, and you'll be caught up to everyone else. So, now that that's out of the way, let me go ahead and start. So, as of this video, we are currently in limbo. We aren't stuck, necessarily, but we aren't progressing either. We're pretty much waiting on a loading screen on momentincrime.com. That's fine. That's totally fine, but it's been 3 days now, and it's only at roughly 6.5%, 7%, somewhere in between there. So, let me get to what I want to say. I believe we missed something major. We've ignored all of Sombra's clues and shrugged them off as red herrings or took them with a grain of salt. I have a theory that not only ties most of the Sombra phrases together, but points our attention to one thing specifically. So, I have spent the last 3 days dissecting everything Sombra has told us, and have probably reached room 237 levels of crazy, but hear me out. So, the first thing that Sombra told us after days of no progress and wasted time on shot codes was, why are you looking at the sky? The answer isn't over your heads, it's behind you. Sometimes you need to analyze your previous achievements. Now, this was the first hint, and was used to find our first real message, which was, damn, not bad. However, I'm getting bored. Let's try something new in the same direction. And this next phrase after the Volskaya Mosh is very important. Sombra said, it seems you like these little games. Why don't we play a real one? This is my first piece of evidence that Sombra is playing outside the fourth wall, but I'll get back to that. After the second skull, we received this message. I promised you a game. I believe you game detectives would call it a trailhead. And almost immediately after, we got this. You seem to be very interested in these heroes. Maybe interested to know some details that I found out about them? And now our last message is being, well done, you have my password. Hacking this television program was meaningless. Wait for what is coming. And it seems that these things are warming up a little. Gotta go unnoticed while it completes. Now that I've briefed you on all of the messages, let's get to the fun part. So there are multiple tiny details in almost every single one of those phrases that can lead to another answer. The sentence that stands out the most for this being, hacking this television program was meaningless. Upon immediate inspection, the detectives came to the conclusion that she hacked the A Moment in Crime video on the official Overwatch YouTube channel. I watched that video frame by frame, and the only evidence of that video being tampered is a very small detail on Roadhog's mugshot. But as of now, I haven't seen anything come from that. So, if Sombra didn't hack that video, what was hacked? So, a lot of people are saying that that Sombra hacked the website, which, of course, that is a possibility, but it's a website, not a television. So, one thing that was thrown away into the old and false leads section of the wiki was Blizzard's screen at Gamescom. On the original Reddit thread that was posted about this monitor, users posted their theories on what was in the garbled mess of the screen. That's fine and all, but the few details that matter the most are from a user on Reddit, Jalif. I'll go ahead and link him down in the section below, as well as Smart As You. So Smart As You says, the fact it's been there the entire convention so far without anyone fixing or turning the screen off is a pretty good indicator it's intended. If that is the case and that screen was that way for the entire convention, it's not smart to throw that out as invalid. Secondly, Jalif if I'm saying that right, linked a secondary album of the same monitor from a different time during the convention. The pattern was slightly altered, with the slightly altered repeating quadrants. So even though both those albums are different, they each have two very important similarities. And that is the number 2016 that can be seen in the center of each quadrant, and a hexagon shape, or hexagon pattern, over the Blizzard logo. So some people in that thread were comparing it to player portraits in the game, but there is one thing that has the alignment of the 2016 and the hexagon, and that would be the Overwatch World Cup logo. Now, how exactly is this a hint? Of course, it's not reliable enough to be evidence, because there is no source picture. Well, Sombra helped us there. When she said hacking this television was meaningless, this monitor was meaningless because it is by definition of the ARG unreliable, which fits Sombra's hint perfectly. So now, under the assumption that this is evidence because of it being meaningless, we can go a bit deeper. Back to the Overwatch World Cup. This one event has multiple implications with the ARG. Sombra told us to wait for what is coming, and it seems that things are warming up a little bit. Gotta go unnoticed for a while it completes. This implies that something is time sensitive, and something soon is the key to continue. BlizzCon 2016 only being less than a month away seems like a pretty convenient time for Blizzard ARG, so under this theory, we now have the Overwatch World Cup as evidence. Now we are in the real world. Remember what I said earlier about it seems like you like these little games, why don't you play a real one being important? Well, Sombra is able to acknowledge Overwatch as being a video game, where the real game is what we know Overwatch to be. A physical, playable game, a real game. She did acknowledge us as game detectives after all. This train of thought is supported with, you seem to be very interested in these heroes, maybe interested to know some details that I found out about them. The word heroes in that phrase was in quotes. Why is the word heroes in quotes? So, upon first glance, she's saying that the members of Overwatch are questionably heroes, but with further inspection of the phrase, we can go back to the Overwatch World Cup. And this next quote is taken directly from the Play Overwatch website, where it says, "Attention all soldiers, scientists, adventurers, and oddities. The Overwatch World Cup needs heroes, and it will be up to you who answers the call." So Blizzard just referred to all of us players as heroes. We are the heroes Sombra is referring to in that line, and the line after that, of course, referring to Anna's X-ray. When we were stuck in Dorado, we received a hint from Muselk before Blizzard said anything. He said, "I don't know anything specific, but what whispers I've heard are that the path to the real answer was dismissed on, like, day one, and people went and found all these weird clues. One thing discussed day one was a physical location and Blizzard's Anaheim office. This entire theory is plausible with what Muselk hinted, and overall everything is pointing to the Overwatch World Cup. As Sombra said, it seems that things are warming up a little. The competition, California weather, people's excitement for BlizzCon. I believe, following everything I have presented to you, that our password to the Salted is something physical, something that needs to be found. Sombra said we already have the password, but where is it? My guess would be Anaheim. So, while all of you are waiting for that percentage to go up to 100%, BlizzCon is here, just around the corner, and the Overwatch World Cup wraps up. Sombra will make herself clear whether we find that password or not. Thank you all for watching.